going on? It's Alex Bailey from Eggy. We are here with Ryan Storm with Storm Sound with a setup segment. I guess I'll just run through everything I have, starting with the kit. I have a Pearl Session Studio Select kit. It's birch and mahogany. It's for the nerds out there. It's 4 plies of birch on the outside and then 2 plies of mahogany, African mahogany on the inside, with a 60-degree bearing edge. I don't really know what any of that means, but I figured I'd tell you. I think it makes it sound nice. I have a 22-inch kick drum. Got a nice kick head on there that's a little beaten up, but that's our the Waiting Game album artwork, courtesy of Evans drum heads. We have a 12-inch rack tom. The kit came with a 10-inch and a 12-inch. I started using just one rack tom because I like to have my ride a little bit closer. When you have 2 toms up top, you kind of have to like bring the ride up and push it out a little bit more, and then I'm like reaching further than I want to. Anyway, 12-inch, 14-inch floor tom, and a 16-inch floor tom. And I have a 14-inch, also pearl, Sensitone brass snare. I've had this thing for, gosh, I think since like 2018, and it's got a nice snap. I used to use some wood snares, but ever since I got this guy, just the metal, kind of like, it just cuts through the mix. I really love wood snares as well. I'll probably get another one soon, but the brass serves me well. And what else? I have another Pearl 10-inch snare drum, a popcorn snare. Got the idea for this from Chris Myers from Humphreys McGee. This is actually very similar to a kit that Chris Myers used to have. A friend of mine gifted me this kit, actually, at least most of it, the ice blue oyster finish ones, and it's been incredible ever since I got it, so thank you to him. I have, let's go to the drum heads. I use all Evans drum heads, kind of switch every 6 months. I feel like I want to change it up, so I'm not completely set on the type of the exact model of drum heads, but I'm always Evans. The toms, I have G2s right now, which is 2-ply. So the 1-ply is a little too thin for me, and it rings out a little too much. The 2-ply has like this natural dampening that I like. It kind of warms up the sound. So yeah, G2s on all the toms. I have a Genera Dry on the snare drum that has these, I don't really know what they're called, but they have these like holes in the first ply. Sorry, it's beat to crap, but so it kind of, I feel like it has this natural dampening where I don't have to use a moon gel. I don't have to use any dampeners. Doesn't really ring out all too much, which is nice. And a G1 on the second snare drum, because I have a moon gel on it right now, but sometimes when I take the snares off, kind of like to have it nice wide and open. So I can do kind of like almost timbale fills. So. It's fun stuff. We've got a lot of toys. I guess we'll do the cymbals next. Almost all Zildjian. So go left to right. I have to honestly brush up on what they're all called. This is a custom special dry trash crash, 17-inch. It's nice and quick, nice and trashy. Doesn't have much, very short decay. So when I want something to not ring out too much over everything else, I'll go to this guy. It's fun stuff. Custom dark crash, 18-inch. Had this guy since probably 2017, 2018. I was using a like 1972 Zildjian crash for a while, and I think the last run it started cracking and just had this like little tiny crack one day, and then I think 3 shows later it was like out to here, and then started another crack along the edge of the grooves, and so I had to retire that, unfortunately. Speaking of cracks, this splash cymbal has got a nice crack going around it, and gonna need to replace this soon, but it gets the job done. Fast splash. I didn't hit this yet. Nice basic crash, love it. This is the cracked splash. Like I said, gets the job done. Doesn't sound great, but I will be getting a new one soon. Got a custom special dry ride, 21-inch. I love this thing. It's not too loud, it's not too bright. It's kind of dark and dry and has a quick decay where, you know, it cuts through the mix. There's like a strong attack, but doesn't just kind of ring out over the groove. Got a nice bell. Has a nice decay, like it. This is the only non-Zildjian cymbal I have. It's a Meinl Byzance Jazz Thin Ride. This thing is really fun. Use it as a crash and a ride. I've had this thing, I think right before COVID I got it in Chicago at the drum shop that's not there anymore, Vic's Drum Shop. Just kind of found it digging in the cymbal bins. Love that thing. This is an Oriental China Trash Zildjian sound effects that I have stacked on top of a Zildjian Trash Former. What is it, 14-inch? Yeah, so I got this idea from Mike Mangini, saw some videos. I got the trash cymbal, or the China, and it was just kind of ringing out so loud. Obviously, from many of the things I've said, I like to have a quick decay on a lot of my cymbals. But this is without the trash former. Loud, nasty. It's a cool sound, but it's too loud. Rings out too much, so when you put the trash former under it and you clamp it down just a little bit, nice and quick. So it, you know, I have it further away from the mic than the other cymbals because it's just so loud, and but it picks it up for sure. That one's fun. Got some custom dark hi-hats, K Custom Dark hi-hats, 14-inch. Just solid hi-hat sound. Good stuff. All right. Pearl hardware. Don't know the model, but pretty much all Pearl hardware. Nice rack mount, like mounting system that kind of has it float in the air, that it lets the shell resonate nice and freely. I got a Pearl Redline double kick pedal that, you know, solid kick pedal, love it. Pearl hi-hat, also Redline, I think Redline Eliminator, and yeah, all the Pearl stuff is just really, really great quality. I also got these from my friend who sent me the kit, and I hadn't used Pearl hardware before, but it really is just, it's been wonderful the last couple of years. Let's see, what else? Have some toys, some cowbells, nice LP. I think Pearl also makes these. I don't want to get that wrong. Yes, Pearl makes these nice cowbells. I used to use it in the song Laurel. That's really fun in the jams, just to kind of like have some weird sounds scattered throughout the kit to mess around with. Some of, depending who you are, could be boring or exciting. The mics that I use, mostly Audix. Got Audix D2, Audix D2 down on the bottom snare. Got a Shure SM57 on the snare top. Audix D4s on the floor toms. Audix I5 on the second snare, and a Audix D6 on the kick drum. I use an SE V-Beat vocal mic, which I obviously sing a lot, so it's kind of been hard to find the right microphone that rejects a lot of the cymbals. And this one I found to be, it's the best out of all the ones I've used. It's nice to have a right angle for the XLR, so usually if there's a XLR poking out too far outside of this side of the mic, I end up hitting it with my sticks. So this SE mic has been awesome. Right now using ProMark sticks, Rebound 5AB, so it's in between a 5A and a 5B. It's the Fire Grain version, so it's nice and light, nice and durable. I still go through them pretty quick because got a heavy hand, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. Got Earthworks SR25s on the overheads. Found these on eBay for just a ridiculous deal, and been using them since 2019. Just a really clean, just straightforward sound that just, you've done it with Jake before, but he also has one on his guitar amp. Let's see, what else? Got an SPD-SX Pro pad, which has been amazing. It's miles better than the predecessor, just the SPD-SX. Has some crazy functions. You can customize everything. You can layer sounds on top of each other. You can have triggers all over the place. So I have some tracks on this. I also have some fun sounds. I don't know if the PA is on, but let's see. Yeah, so a couple of different kits that I use just for some like a special effects. Some bongos and congas. Our song Whoa There. Trigger that from the SPD. I have a kick trigger down at my feet so that when I play songs like, where is it? Must Come Down, I have a kind of like 808 subby kick drum that I can play with my foot. And I have this going through some of these pedals. I'm kind of just scratching the surface on the whole effect pedals world, but it's been really fun. Jake let me borrow a couple of his Chase Bliss pedals that have been really fun to mess with. Have the lossy, which kind of degrades the sound, and there's some reverb on it, and some filters and stuff, and different types of loss, so it's kind of like recreates sort of like bit crushy, low quality, almost like digital sounds that I use occasionally in jams. So this is just like a big old 909 tom sound. And if you turn this guy on, it gets really messed up. So use that in some jams. Got a generation loss, also from Chase Bliss. It's more saturation and some like distortion. There's different models of tape saturation and digital saturation. Once again, just scratching the surface on it, but it's very fun. I got a space echo. Can get out of control sometimes. So I'm careful with when I use this stuff, but it's really fun when I do. And then I just bought this hologram microcosm that is a doozy of a pedal. It's insane. I'm really just getting to know it. I have this granule tunnel setting that I've been using, and it kind of like captures, it's almost like a freeze pedal. So I have my drums, I have like a mix of my drums without the overheads going into this from a reamp box, a radial reamp box behind all this. And so it kind of like freezes whatever sound I'm playing at the time. And when I introduce another sound, so when I hit another drum, it kind of erases the freeze from before and starts a new one. Don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Let's see. And then I can really freeze it. Yeah, it's fun. So there's definitely more to come from that. I really only know how to do that one thing now. It's such a deep pedal. I'm like reading the manual in the van, just trying to like get any grasp of it. I also have an H9, so I have all my drums, like I said, from the reamp box coming out into this volume, little like 3D printed volume knob that I got on Etsy. So when I want to use effects from my drums, I just turn this up, sends from here into the microcosm, and then into the H9, which I use for some delay effects, some like filtery. I can tap tempo. So I can have it just be dry drums going into the H9 if I have this on bypass, or I can turn on the hologram, and then it's kind of that freeze sound going into the delay from the H9. Let's see, I have the filter down. So, like I said, scratching the surface on it, but one day it's gonna be some crazy shit coming out of there. Let's see, what else? Got a nice Amazon Basics fan blowing on me all night. It's keeping me dry, and I don't know. Is there anything else I missed?
Anything you want to add to the rig? Your next gear purchase?
Anything I want to add to the rig? I definitely want to get some more sounds on the SPD. I feel like I'm still mainly using the factory sounds, and there's this website Yurt Rock that has like SPD SX expansion packs. That it's got like artist packs, so it's like famous drummers recording their drum kit, and you can like put it onto the pad. Other than that, I don't know, it'd be cool to start maybe playing guitar at some point. I don't know if it would be back here or up there, maybe in the acoustic set. But I think, slowly starting to replace some of the cracked cymbals, maybe finding some more weird kind of like toys to scatter around the kit. Maybe use a shaker or two. Otherwise, I feel like I'm comfortable, and feels good to feel a little like settled in my kit for the first time, at least in a long time. Yeah. Thanks for listening and checking out my kit. Check out all the other Eggy guys' rig tours segment, setup segment, and I'm sure I'll do another one of these when I have some more toys to show.